What are we doing?
I'm kind of lost.
I mean, we're not usually here.
Last time I think I remember is I was cooking, and then all of a sudden a hood got thrown over my head, and then now I just showed up here.
Dude, that's right. Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Dude, okay, here we are. All right.
Here we are.
Yeah. All right, we're back. It's Dreamkillers podcast. We're hanging out here. This is a good time. I'm so glad to be above the garage again, dude.
I'm so happy to be back.
It's been way too long.
Way too long.
My name is Ian. I am with Drive Cartel, Dreamkiller myself.
I'm Josh. I'm part of Drive Cartel and Dreamkillers myself.
I'm Tadashi. Everybody knows me as Dash.
Dash? I didn't know that.
Hey.
Yep. And I'm Karisa. We're also part of Drive Cartel as well as FRS2K.
Hey.
FRS2. How can we find you guys?
Several different ways. YouTube channel, FRS2K. Instagram is 86.Karisa is the main
dope.
thing.
Dope. Follow along. You find out some new things. Because you guys are doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We're famous. We're on TV right
You're
now.
on TV right now.
Look.
You got the S2000. You got the FRS.
The infamous TYC photography.
Yes, absolutely. He was on the show on he was like the last one before COVID, right?
I think so, yeah.
Adam Chai, he was coming into town or something like that, or during COVID.
Yeah, he came in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He brought us COVID.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Come on, man.
Adam Shaw, come on. We need some free photos now.
Or stickers. Just send stickers. Hey, we do need a TYC sticker for the table, man. Talking with Adam was awesome. This is kind of one of our things, like just hanging out with all these great influencers and people that are a huge part of the car community. And you two are no different from that. I mean, look at this stuff that you're doing. Like, what is this? Explain to me what is going on here.
Big things.
Pride and joy. That's what that is.
It's called a lot of debt.
Debt.
Yep.
Legit debt.
No, I mean that is a dream come true. It all started with a picture of a stock silver Series 10 FRS on my fridge for a year.
And then from that
I bought a brand new one. Yep. It came out, the Series 10. Yep.
Okay.
It was, at the time, they didn't have the 10-year edition. It was a 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
My dealership didn't even know about it.
Really?
I called them up and I was like, hey, what's this, 10 Series edition? They're like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. Apparently the enthusiasts always know more than the dealerships.
Of course.
And I was like, well, when you guys get one in, I want a manual. And at the time I had a Scion TC that I had just bought brand new.
Also could be done up pretty cool.
2012.
Cool.
I actually really liked it, but it, a year into it, I was like, nope, not the car. Got the call for the FRS. They delivered it to me, actually.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
Okay.
It was pretty cool. A second brand new car that I'd ever bought. I've had the car for, God, I can't even think now. Well, it's 2013. It's year 2013, so
10 years.
Let's do the math. Yeah.
So what was that? what was that? Their MSRP here on it?
It was about the same price they run now. I think it was 30. And when it was all said and done, I think I paid probably like 35 or 36.
With interest.
With interest and and everything. I had some negative equity on the TC because I only had it for a year.
Right.
I think the sticker was like just under 30.
Wow.
And then you add taxes and everything.
Yep.
But yeah, I bought it brand new. And then I always had a dream to make it where it is now. But at the time, I obviously didn't have my amazing husband. But I didn't know
He is good looking.
He is.
What's up?
He's married. Leave him alone.
So let me ask you this though. From where it started, from where the car started, where did it go? Like, what was the first step? Like, walk us through kind of just how this came to be. You know what I'm saying?
So my background was I never had any money, never had cool cars or anything, but I did what I could to make them my own and make them cool and stand out and everything. And she came into the picture. She had this car, and we were like, all right, we have a good platform to start with.
Right.
It's still relatively new, so and we didn't. This was before we went to any car shows. raced or did anything. We had a cool car. We wanted to do cool stuff with it. And we started off with just like taillights, exhaust. I bought some like Christmas LED rope light and strung it up underneath the car for underglow because that's what we had.
That's what you had,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I love it.
And we loved it, and just like the attention that it got, and just being different than everybody else.
Yeah.
At least up where we're from, 4 hours.
So that was just like the start.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and
Right?
I had already had the car 5 years
Okay.
at this point. You know, I'm
Yeah.
daily driven it. It had
100,000
over
miles.
100,000 miles on it.
Oh yeah, because you're like way up north, right? And like I call it way up north. It's far. Like okay, so how far away do you live from? And right now we are in northeast Minneapolis. The address is nope. So let's just say how far away are you from like the Twin Cities?
3.5 hours.
Yep.
3.5 hours.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, you guys are
So
committed. I love you guys.
So
for
you're
doing that.
constantly
Oh my God.
you're driving more than a normal person a lot of times, right? To get anywhere.
Yep.
So you're putting miles on it. So you had it. You put 100K on it in how many years?
In 5 years. And that was
5 years.
pre-Minnesota. That was pre-car shows.
Oh, that was because
Yep.
you were out west.
I have over
Yeah, it's
200,000
double
miles.
that now.
No way. Seriously?
Yep.
See, that's where I'm at.
No way.
Yeah.
The, the brown car that is outside is
It's not outside. It's below us.
oh it's below but it's in the driveway.
Oh yeah.
Wait, dang it!
Yeah. Why would you?
Please, I need the insurance. Maybe come take my wheels. I want new wheels. No, I'm kidding. Nobody wants those wheels. But it's like 200 something, and the reliability especially with this Toyota and Subaru coming together to create this, they like made a very reliable machine. Not only that, it's one of the most beautiful designs that has ever come out of those houses. I mean, hands down. They recreated the ultimate driver's car that they could produce into like a modern look. And I don't know if Kelty helped design this, but man, Kelty is such a great design house. It does a lot of that. They did the Supra. They designed that car. They designed the supercar.
LFA.
LFA. Thank you. That's not very,
That supercar.
that supercar that they put out. But they design these things, and I really see a lot of that. They give it good curves, good body lines. The window has some historic looks to it. It's very Japanese, and I love that. And you went further than that. Like, tell me about these doors. How hard was that?
So that was it was either
It was a birthday present. You bought it for my birthday.
So I got
Okay.
it for a birthday, and I have a really bad problem when we have parts that are ready to go on a car and they just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have an issue with just letting them sit there and waiting for my other half to be a part of putting them on. So then I just dive right in. But she had a show coming up, and I wanted her to have something new because her car, we had done some things, but they were like minor, like interior details and things like that. Things that, like, unless you're really detail oriented and have seen the car previously, you're probably not going to notice it.
Right.
And I wanted something flashy on it what was it?
Oh, it's flashy.
I don't know. It was
There's
a
too
bigger
many
show.
shows. Too many shows.
Yeah, it was a bigger show, and
Wasn't Drive Cartel modest, was it? By the way, check
No,
out drivecartel.com and look forward to our new shows this year.
no,
I actually
hey.
think it was Tuner Evo.
Tuner Evo,
I
right?
feel like it was either Tuner Evo or Slammed Enough in
Because
Chicago.
you're travelers, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I gotta say, so after this, and you put 200,000 miles. It's plus now.
I still
Well,
can't believe
and
you
the
have that
thing
many
is-
miles.
supercharged.
And most of that is been over 200,000. Like I hit 100,000 miles when I crossed before I crossed the state line.
Yeah.
When I moved here, like I think it was in halfway from
Yeah.
Idaho, I hit 100,000 miles.
Wow.
And then, commuting and just driving. I mean, consistently driving all the time.
And then this is where it gets even cooler, because driving all the time means, and this is a show car. This is an absolute show car.
Ridiculous show car.
Means you're gonna actually drive it in the snow. Like, I don't even know how somebody does that. Like, I can't get out of my parking spot in front of my house. But this thing,
Right. And
it's gorgeous, man. It's just rocking in the snow. And so, what's the theory behind that? Do you still take it out every once in a while and just enjoy it?
I mean, I will. Absolutely. I mean, cars are meant to be driven.
Yeah, we can't help it.
This was like a dream photo shoot. You know, I've always, especially for Minnesota, I'm from the mountains, so I miss the mountains. And we got a ton of snow, and it was actually relatively warm outside for up north, and the snow stuck to the trees, so it made it look as mountainous as it could be.
Well, because I see him sitting in there, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna stay in the car. It must be really cold." That's what I was getting.
It was cold. No,
it's cold.
It was. I mean,
I look like
Cody
I'm just a mannequin in there.
You look smart staying warm. That
You
would
look
be me.
smart.
Yeah.
But by the way, so this is the new car,
that is the new car.
and I see a GR logo on there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Gazoo is involved with this this little specimen here, which is a good thing. And what are you going to do with this thing?
So that's supposed to be the dedicated track car.
Okay.
I say supposed to be because obviously I have a bad tendency to want to wide body everything.
Yeah. I
Why
see
body
that.
the world? That's what I say.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
There's nothing
there's
wrong
not.
with that. But at a certain point,
Yep.
you know, it's like, well, what's the effectiveness of what you're trying to do? So,
Exactly.
So you're going to stay a little bit more straight track.
The goal is to be that way. I mean, we'll see how it pans out. I think right now I've switched back to, because I want to be competitive. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not here to like be the best track driver out there, but like I want to at least have a chance, because I started tracking with the FRS
Yeah.
on air ride, supercharged, first time ever tracking it, and the like aura, the stigma with like driving my show car was amazing, and I don't think I'll ever get away from that. And that's
Right.
another reason why like I just have this desire to want to wide body the GR, because what's better than drifting or autocrossing a wide body car? Like
I agree.
It's a
love
wonderful thing. I mean, I'm coming from my stance. I think it's a great thing.
But I also want to beat
Pay it
this
off.
one.
Oh, sorry.
No, I want to beat this one. One of these days. One of these days, I'm gonna have a faster time than
and
you.
that's where I was going to segue into that, because the S2000, I was at a DCTC event with Impulse, and the fastest car by like well over 10 seconds a lap, above everybody, was an S2000.
Yep.
And they are such a weapon on a track.
Yeah, they require a skilled driver to really pull everything from them, because like below 6,000 RPM, it feels like you're driving a base model Civic.
Right.
But then over that, they scream, and they're a very rewarding car, but they will punish you if you don't know how to drive them properly.
How did your car punish you?
Well, Chris is the one that punished the car.
How did the car punish you?
Where did it hurt you?
Well, you know, that's one of those things where when you're being a little competitive with said husband here, who had already been out on the track, and I knew his times.
Oh,
and
you're trying. I see.
You know,
Oh, you were trying to one up it. I
I'm
see.
always the first one out, so
I
she
was.
knows what
Well,
time that she needs to get up to.
Well, because I drive my car, he drives his car, and then we swap.
Yeah.
You know, and keep the friendly competition going. And I'm trying to be more into the track life, so pushing
Sure.
myself out of the comfort zone. And I had a passenger, Alex was with me, and he was like trying to coach me and stuff. And I was like, all right, you know, every time I came around this long bend, we'd always shift sooner,
Yeah.
because then you got like the G's and the force of the car going around the corner, and you're trying to shift at 9,000 RPMs. So we always shift sooner. So fifth time out on the track, I'm like, you know, I'm not catching up to his time. I'm going to give it everything I got. And I decided to push it to 9,000 RPMs around that bend. And I was in.
Dang.
Yeah, I ended up money shifting it
Oh my goodness.
Third gear, 9,000 RPM,
to second gear.
about 90 miles an hour. Instead of going into fourth, went into second.
And I caught it. Like, even in the video, you see me immediately, you know, throw it back in.
Man.
I had no idea. I knew I money shifted it, but I didn't know I, like, blew the engine. Like, and so
Yeah.
I'm just kind of coasting at this point, because, like, after you come around that bend, you have to pretty much slam on the brakes, because you're coming
Right.
into a sharp right. And I ended up putting the car back into gear, and it slung the car sideways, and I was like,
So what happened is when she went into second, let out the clutch, spiked the RPMs, dropped a valve, and she caught it. So nothing was spinning, and then she put it into gear, let out the clutch again after she had slowed down, and now there's just a valve floating around in there, and RPM's kicked up, and 1,000 little chunks of metal. Probably about 90% of those little chunks were not from the valve. And then the head of the valve is actually stuck sideways in the intake.
Oh my goodness!
Runner. So
This
that
hurts listening to this.
Yeah, I know, I'm
just
cringing.
oh god!
But it's everybody does it.
Yeah,
everybody does that.
So are you gonna swap in?
You're gonna do that.
So you're gonna swap in like an LS motor and not be able to shift, not be able to rev it up above like 3,500.
Yeah. No, it's it'll eventually get a K24.
Nice, perfect engine.
Out
Love
of
it.
an Acura TSX.
Oh, nice.
So,
Okay.
I'm
Nice.
excited for that one because that same day I got to drive a friend's S2000 that is K24 swap, tuned, E85, fully caged, fully gutted, like full on. It's his
Grid life
Nice.
race car.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And like, I drove that car like shit because I got in it and it's an S2000, but it is nothing like mine.
Right.
And my time in that car was only a second off of my best time in my car, and I drove it like crap. So,
Whoa. Okay.
Well, maybe when do you think you're gonna get that one back on the road or the track?
Wow.
I don't know. I'm fully prepared to not drive that car until 2024 season.
You got to find the right engine. I mean, you really do. You can't just be like, oh, I just found one. That's it. Good. I got it. You have to get the right K24.
Yeah.
One
Well,
that's not beat.
that's where with the way where the car sits right now, like it's all tore apart inside the shop. It's half unwrapped, half wrapped, the new color for whatever season it's going to come back.
Oh.
And we were going to turbocharge it this winter.
Yeah.
And I'm glad the motor went now than like turbo it, spend all that money
Yeah,
for all that
and
work,
then-
and then blow it.
Right.
So that all those parts are going to get transferred over to the new engine when
Nice.
it goes in. But we want to do everything right. And I want a car that is going to be fast, but I can still be competitive in and still grow as a driver because like that car is so rewarding to drive.
It's pretty sweet. It's a
And
sweet
he's
car.
worried that I'm going to catch up to him in the GR86.
I mean,
'cause,
that's
like,
always possible.
That GR is a weapon out there.
Yo. So obviously, if you want to see more about these cars, you just got to go. What was the what's the Instagram in that again?
So Instagram is 86.carissa, Karisa.
You heard it right here on Dreamkillers.
And then make sure to check out the YouTube channel.
What's the YouTube channel?
FRS2K.
FRS2K. I mean, for real. I mean, look at these fine units and see what happens here. Because I don't want you to give up any more information about this because they're gonna see that. They're gonna follow along. They're gonna enjoy that because I'm like watching I watch YouTube all day long because I don't do anything like work on my cars. But what I do want to say is seriously, this has been a big thing for us, and we want to welcome you to Drive Cartel. You have been a part of it, helping us out a bunch.
Huge part.
We
Thank you.
We really appreciate all the representation and everything like that because, Drive Cartel helps us do cool things like this. And Drive Cartel always has been really awesome to us in the past by throwing really cool shows.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what I was drawn to them for. You know what I mean? And I'm sure same kind of boat.
Oh, yeah.
Like we do, if you've never been to a Drive Cartel show, they're all amazing. We're talking about, Cars and Crafts at St. Paul Brewing on this first Saturdays in the summer, and Modest, which
My
Modest
favorite.
is amazing. It was like the first large format that we had been a part of, like actually running stuff, and it's just amazing how that came. You guys wrapped a car live.
Which was amazing, by
It
the
was
way.
super cool. I was just like,
It was so great.
I'm like, if it goes anything like my rapping skills, it's gonna be terrible. But then I was just like, whoa, they're actually good at it. I didn't know this.
And quick, dude. They were quick. You guys are really quick with it.
More like he was quick. I was kind of stage
Just like
fright.
put us on the spot.
Like stage fright over here, just standing there like holding the heat gun. Like I don't know what I'm doing.
So, and from that stuff, doing the cool shows, we really are glad that you're part of that. And then I'd also like to formally, as of today, As of today, this is
We don't say I.
Oh, but I get to announce it, or you can.
No, I don't. You can announce it.
No, you announce it.
Okay,
I'm
this is
excited, but
getting
you
weird
do it.
now.
Ready? And
I thought I don't understand why we didn't do this before, but newest member of Drive Cartel, and then obviously we want you part of the track as well now. We wanted you part of that. I look back and like, why have we not
like-
had him on there? Like,
I'm like, Tadashi's not part of the
yeah,
track.
yeah.
I'm like, you are. So we hit up the powers that be and said, hey, can we make sure that he's part of this, because you're as much a part of working on that car, and then with the 2000 and stuff like that, you're always there to make it happen. And I don't know why you weren't there sooner. So
That's what I'm saying.
we're formally inviting you.
That's what I'm saying.
To be part of the team and stuff like that, like not just as like, oh, we both are.
Yeah,
No, you.
package deal.
But you.
That's how we always.
But we never got a
what?
chance to, and now we were so excited. We were like, dude, we got to do this today. Yes, we do. It's awesome. So
Plus, when you build S2K, then I can buy it from you easier because.
no, Josh, there's no discounts. In that.
I'm not saying a discount. I'm just saying I get top pick if he sells it ever.
I mean, I got a real nice paperweight. Right
Yep.
now that-
Oh, trust me, I've got one too. Don't worry about that.
You know that. You don't just stockpile
actually got two.
K24s like I stockpile two JZs.
We're probably going to.
I mean, you
once
got
it's
an extra
turboed.
2 J's.
I do have extra. I do have extra.
He does. Do you do it one
I
or
kind
two?
of need one.
I just keep them hanging out.
He really
You
does.
kinda
I'm not
need
kidding.
one.
He actually does.
I do. I kind of need one for the FRS.
I just
Ooh, I just park
park
that
'em.
would be
I
dope.
just park
That's
them
the
on
plan.
shelves and put them on shelves in the garage.
I put my parts in his garage too.
Yeah, actually, you want to take that stuff home with you today? No.
Anyone
course.
needs some Willwood brakes? I got them.
He's one of the guys, yeah. So there's a box of Willwood brakes for a blue car that's sitting,
That nobody ever sees.
and nobody ever sees.
That's one of my paperweights.
We'll see his car later, but yeah, a set of Willwood brakes sitting out in the garage, and they're just like just chilling. And
It's been like 2 years.
2 years. Anywho,
Oh, I need to.
Sorry,
put
we
those-
got 2 brand new turbos just sitting on a shelf.
I love that. I love looking at parts, but I like to use them more.
I like
importantly.
leaving my parts at his garage. 'cause
Right.
It saves me space.
Well, and for what you do, and you're just doing this now. You came directly from that. This is the only way we could catch you, because it's so hard with your influencer fees and stuff like that to get you here.
Yeah, we
but you
paid
guys,
$25,000 to get them here today.
yeah, you guys were out doing hardcore rapping today. I mean, you knocked out a rap job pretty much in a day.
I
It's
mean,
pretty
it's-
hardcore.
Yeah, it wasn't a full wrap job. It was a partial
It's like a half
full
wrap.
design. Yeah, and it was on a truck, full size truck.
If we are allowed, are we allowed to put that up on the thing? Because I can put it up in the screen. Would we be allowed to do that when you're done?
Yeah.
If you
Maybe.
can find out.
I'll find out tomorrow.
If we
gotta
can,
swing-
if we
yeah.
can, we'll put it right
I mean,
here.
Yeah.
No? Yes, right here.
It's gonna be over here.
Yeah.
Right, I know it's gonna be the opposite.
You know me. You know me well. My photos, my video skills are supreme. So yeah, no. But so how long you been doing the rap stuff for?
Well, we started with my car.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
it was so my buddy that we were living with when she first moved here, we had been friends for a couple years at this point, and we actually started like a little local car group because there's nothing established in Bemidji where we're from.
Okay.
So we started that, and then he actually had a BRZ, which was cool because she was coming to town now, and she had a FRS, and we were gonna show him up because he had a bunch of stuff done to his car and everything, and the whole goal is to just one up Josh.
which I did.
we
And
all
his
went
name
up
is
Josh.
Yeah,
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that's not hard to do. My car never moves out of the garage.
That's just my specialty. I just one up Josh's
Right.
across the board.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But he was doing, or he was attempting to do some vinyl work on his car, and I hadn't really looked into it or really known about it. I knew about Plastidip.
Yeah.
And that was originally what we were just like, oh, we should like order the kit and everything and
Get
just
the
plastic
dip
your car,
pearls.
yeah,
Yep.
and just like make our own crazy color.
I've been there. Too many times.
But then he was wanting to do some vinyl work on his car, and I was trying to help him and like tell him what I had learned from the hours of YouTube that I was watching just so we could wrap his fender. And he like gave up, brought it to a shop, had them do it, and not too long after that, we decided that we wanted to change things up with her car. We had this idea. She always wanted a black car and everything, and we were going to do that, but then there's actually a car, Thick 86, which is
huge
on
on
just
social media.
Can we say that again? Thick 86. I can't do it right. Thick 80s. I can't do it right.
Thick 86.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I tried.
Yeah,
But he had this like light bluish turquoise like color on his car,
right.
and that's like our go-to, like teals, turquoises, purples. Like that's the.
I love it.
If we see anything in that, we see a fuzzy blanket, we buy it.
Light blue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So she wanted that color. We figured out pretty much
At a
probably
show
what color it was.
where we figured that
yeah,
color
there
out.
was somebody that wrapped cars down the cities. Don't remember who it was. This was years ago, and they had a bunch of swatches, and we were looking through them, and we're like, hey, this actually looks like that color. So then we ended up ordering it, and kind of part of the way through the process of figuring out what we were going to do with the color, one of the YouTubers that I followed that kind of taught me a lot of what I know about wrapping started just saying he had nothing but issues with his brand and didn't like it, and he took a full roll and he just threw it in the trash and everything, and I was like, yeah, that vinyl's trash. So I followed along with him and everything. So then we rate, and there's nothing really wrong with the material. It was just his personal opinion, and I just followed suit.
So on to materials, what material do you normally like to work with? Because I know it's very particular for each wrapper.
So
like different heat.
Every brand has their pros and cons. Avery Dennison is the easiest film to work with.
Will you inspect the Avery Dennison wrap on this car right in front of you?
I thought that was paint.
I forgot.
No, that is Avery Dennison wrap. Go ahead, pick it up, check it out. That's you can see the release flaws.
We need to step our game up and get some more RC cars.
You gotta love RC cars.
He brings us to
Oh,
shows.
yeah, I know.
You can
I
see the
didn't-
failure
it.
points.
Like I've saw the car, but I've never looked at it close enough.
That's good because like
RC car flexes.
You're hired.
Dude, it's hilarious.
no, it's tough. Like small intricate things are people think like, oh, it's small, like that should be
Brutal.
no problem. But it's like I would much rather wrap a hood or a door or a roof or a trunk over a couple door handles any day. Just
well, I got a bumper you can rewrap for me. That'd be really nice. But yeah, no. So, what do you prefer? What's your favorite?
So as far as easeability, like ease of install and just a vinyl that works, Avery Dennison.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really care for the finishes of the color. Like it's not, because it's a thinner material, so there's not a lot of depth to the color.
Yeah.
It just works. As far as color goes and color options, like, and I might get flamed for this, but like Tech Wrap or Vinyl Frog or Inozatech, like their colors are, they just have a bunch of crazy colors, and it's thicker, but there is a lot of depth to it, so it looks like paint. It's super clear. So I personally will go off of, if it's a little harder to work with, like that's perfectly fine if the end finish is going to look
that's a
better.
that's a valid
Right,
point.
absolutely.
Most people are stuck to their guns, but you would take Vivid. No, you wouldn't. That's hard.
That's what I have
Vivid.
on
It's
the.
so hard to work with.
That's what's on the S2000 right now.
Really?
Really.
So that's why
That South Camo is.
You got to
Vivid.
heat that with like a blowtorch.
Yeah, and I
that's
did
what-
that. I did that with a sunflower heater in the garage in the middle of winter.
Man. Are you kidding me? And then, like, be careful when you release it, because I bought some of it to do some wheels, and Mark Bishop knows what I'm talking about. I peeled that off because I was like, oh, it's kind of not sitting. I saw it, like, pull in. I went to pull it off the wheels. It pulled the powder coat off of the wheels.
So I've heard a lot of horror stories, and I've seen videos
crazy.
and everything, and people like comment on the videos and saying like, careful when you go to remove it. And I was just like, well, I unwrapped half of my car, didn't pull up anything.
Oh, you got
and
lucky.
it might just be.
Oh, God, you got lucky.
Well, and the other thing too is like, so like probably the most nerve-wracking vehicle that we've helped unwrap was a 911 Turbo
Oh, yeah.
that we had
I
wrapped.
bet.
And he was selling it, and in order for him to sell it, he had to unwrap it. That was like the deal.
Did you find, like, residue left over?
There was a
or anything
little
like
bit
that?
of residue.
Not
but
too hard to deal with,
yeah,
though?
just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol came right off. But
Nice.
yeah, so far, like I haven't had any issues with it pulling up paint. My car's been resprayed before.
Yeah.
It's been crashed into in the rear and everything else, and those were the spots I was worried about, because every time you get a respray, it's never as good.
Absolutely.
It's going to lift
yeah,
at some point, right?
And so far, so good. So
that's pretty good. I mean, man, what you guys are doing? It's awesome. I saw this truck that they did, just a little preview, and if we can put it up, it's amazing. Some of what you guys are doing now, it's great, and I hope that you continue doing that, because I think it's fantastic. So, but yeah, it was really hard to do. I had a little bit of assistance from somebody. Nabil came over and was like, "Okay, we're gonna do a contour. So why don't you try this on your car?" Showed me how to do the door, which was like the hard part. Like, this is your flow. This is what you have to think about. And then I did it myself. The rest of the car, for the most part.
I didn't know Nabil helped you with that.
And then what?
I didn't know he helped you with that.
Yeah, it's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
Nabil's great.
Great guy.
But yeah, so it's like, but it was really hard. I mean, and it was stressful. There's so many tips and tricks online, and I would say, what's your advice for beginners on wrapping? But I'm not even going to say that. I'm just going to say, just go watch everybody's videos.
Yep.
Because it's insane.
And just get, like for us, we only bought like $200 worth of material
right.
and started on the easiest portion. Like we did the hood and the roof of my car, just to like
get a feel for it.
Yeah. Because it's relatively simple.
Yeah.
And you're not investing, $800 for a roll.
Right.
And then, if you have the money, whatever, the more you can practice, the better. And then it was just watching videos and trying.
And start with Avery Dennison or 3M 2080.
Yeah. Yep.
That checks out. I can also say that is a good idea.
And then once you get good with that, then you can start venturing into some thicker films or harder films to work with and everything, and you'll kind of know the lay of the land before you get into something a little bit more difficult. But I'm sure there's a bunch of people that start with like a harder material to work with and then just give up on it and never touch it again.
And honestly, like probably another big tip that we've learned is invest in the tools that you're using. It doesn't cost hardly anything to start up wrapping, but it matters what type of blades you have.
Yep.
It matters what types of gloves, squeegees, and like don't just go on Amazon and buy anything. Like
don't get the $10 special.
We've done it and like it works. But
don't get the one that says "very good, works well, car wrap, accessory,
good,
still works well, good."
Description.
Yeah, right. But like it's that we've gone through a few different brands and things like that, and when we finally like, okay, we're gonna go on like Fellers or we're gonna go on to like these known places and get these things, we got them, and it's like holy,
it made all the difference.
Right. Just in the simplicity of spending $30.
Yep.
You know, like
knife tape was like the biggest.
Knifeless tape.
Yeah. That stuff was like it changed my world.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I was like, this thing gonna work, and I did the thing and I ripped it out, and I was like, man, it's just never gonna be a clean line, and I was like, what? No, and it works.
It's just a string inside of tape.
And I wouldn't have ever bought it if I wouldn't watch somebody's video.
Yep.
So kids, get out there, watch those videos, help support your local. But yeah, no, it's really cool, and what you're doing, I think it's fantastic. It's like a dream of everybody's. So hopefully that just continues to become one of the awesome things that carries you through this world. So, cheers to you for that, and maybe it'll help you get back to the track.
Yeah. Maybe.
Hey.
Look at this. This is a pretty proper track. Josh made this. So it's got
in my backyard.
It's got cars going this way, but this guy's going this way. Look at this way, and those cars are coming this way. This is a problem.
That's not a problem.
They're going to crash.
It's fun. Fun racing.
Anywho, it's figure eight. But so, how long have you been running on the track for?
Well, this year was the first dedicated year.
Yeah, this year, I pretty much until like later in the season, for like Modest and Minneapolis Mile and a couple of shows, pretty much all I did this year with the S2000 was autocross.
Right.
And we've done it a couple times here and there, like at proving grounds and things like that, just kind of getting our feet wet, and found a good group of people at Morgan's Motorplex to race with, and it's so chill. There's like as little stress as you can imagine with racing, that is their events. Nice. So it's just fun. Everybody's welcoming. It's easy to get into it. And that's what I pretty much did all this year with that.
What do you think the process, or for people who haven't done it before, what would be the best way to get into being able to go out and do some track work?
Honestly, first off is just do it.
Yeah.
Just show up.
Yeah.
Because like at Morgan's place, like what he's saying, like at Morgan's Motorplex, and I mean, I don't know if
shout out to Morgan's Motorplex. Yeah. Seriously, I hope that Sauk Rapids thing turns out.
Yeah. No, for real.
We're all praying for you, dude, for real.
Yo, but like we both always say, we tell people, we try to get people to come all the time. We literally autocrossed our TRD Pro Tacoma.
I was going to bring that up. I was going to bring that up.
Can do it in any vehicle. Now, obviously, like once you get a taste of it, you want to be more competitive.
Sure.
Is the Tacoma your best choice? No. But it doesn't mean that you can't go out there, get the jitters out. You know, I tracked my FRS. Literally, the very first time I ever drove a car on a track was at Proving Grounds, which is not a closed event. That is not a closed track event. For anybody that doesn't know, there is people watching you, which is nerve-wracking. I was in my show car that we had just supercharged. I didn't know what type of power it had. You know, I mean, here I've got a brand new supercharged car that I just came back from a rally. And, you know, I've got air ride, I'm wide body, and I'm out here autocrossing it in front of people. Like,
I'm going to come cruise with you. Whether I bring the Mazda 5, whether we bring we can make macaroni and cheese in the 22-foot Sprinter going around a track. I'll just get like a floating seat for you where you're harnessed in, and you just, got this, got to add the milk. Oh, man. But it's that easy. Just show up.
It really is. Like, honestly, and like autocross is a really good track event to get started, because I've been on the drag strip. I have had the luxury. He hasn't, but I've had the luxury of, I've ran Pikes Peak. I've done
what?
I've been at Pikes Peak racetrack. I've been to Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Super cool.
I've been to a couple different, you know, like actual road course. Like, had the luxury of even riding with some instructors and stuff on like some legit tracks.
Dang.
And you know, a lot of those are intimidating. And like a drag strip, you know, I've ran my FRS down drag strip. I've wheel hopped and everything with cambered wheels, like the whole 9 yards. But is it as thrilling as it would be if you were in a 9-second car? Absolutely not. You know,
but you still
fun.
did it, right?
It's fun to do it. Absolutely. Would I go pay to go do it all the time? No. That's where like autocross is awesome. Drifting is what we really want to get into eventually. Yeah. That's harder too.
And it's expensive.
Exactly. And that's where autocross.
Very expensive.
No, very expensive.
Yeah. Lots of tires. Yeah. And broken parts.
Lots of broken cars.
Yep.
You're gonna take one of those fine beauties that you have, and you do that, or are you gonna get a dedicated one?
We want to get a dedicated one, but
that was the original build plan for her FRS was drift car.
Really? Yeah, I mean,
it was. We just made it too pretty, and now until I learn how to drift, don't get me wrong, guarantee you one day you will see me slide that car sideways.
That's dope.
Like legit slide it sideways, not just going in a big parking lot and playing around.
Right.
I have sold off some really cool cars that
I'm still mad at you.
Remember
don't talk to me about it.
I don't talk about the LS400.
No, you go ahead. You can talk about it. I'm just gonna be mad at you. Go ahead.
We welded a diff on an LS400. You know, it had some cool, you know, suspension on it, and the car was already had been crashed and stuff like that. But we put it together, and Josh and I went out ripping around, and we're like, and then I had, you know, even Kiera was drifting in it and stuff. You know, it's like, cool, this works. And then we sold it to somebody who wanted to build a drift car for you too.
Did they actually turn into a drift car still, or is it?
They have it still, yeah. Took it out on 10,000 Lakes Rally, and it was it did it. It made it. It didn't start on fire. But an old LS400, you know what I mean? It's a big body, but at the same time, you can put it in one, hit the pedal, put it in two, and if you weld that diff up properly, it'll do all that.
Yep.
It'll do, especially the early versions, because they don't have all the traction control stuff and all that. You can actually just go. But most of them had defeated traction control themselves at that point because they're old.
Yep.
Like the ABS don't work anyway. It's an LS400. Come on, let's go. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, maybe start with something that you don't have to worry about.
Well, she wants the trifecta.
Oh.
Yeah, I want a BRZ just for the cliche of the.
So factor. She'll have an FRS, an 86, and a BRZ.
Even though they're all the same.
Same.
but they're not.
But different.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's cool though.
But yeah, no, autocross, that's what's great about it is you can literally take your daily car, drive it to the track.
Yeah.
And unless you're like me, you drive home.
Right. And you take these things all over the place. And that's where my next thing was, because you're going to shows, you're going to track stuff. You're everywhere. Like, this is Italy.
You guys went to Italy.
The
I didn't know
actual
that.
map that we
This
put
is
pins
the
in.
actual map.
Yeah.
Apparently, you only travel through Europe. I don't know. Stock
Pretty
photos.
crazy.
Bro, I'm really good at PowerPoint. Anyway. But yeah, so like, where have you been? Like, what are your favorite places to go?
I've
Oh,
been
hold on.
everywhere.
There's two
Yeah?
things I gotta ask you: favorite show and favorite track.
Ooh,
Oof.
yeah, I guess that's the really good way to ask
That's
that.
tough.
You better say
Wow.
modest. I'm kidding.
Modest is up there. It is. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I honestly.
Hold on, I'm gonna
This
go
is a
back to
paid-
that other
So-
slide that said "Welcome to Drive Car."
This is a paid promotion
So,
by
okay,
DriveCartel.com.
That's the thing. Like, it's tough, right? Because like Modest obviously is a different feel for me. It's home.
Yeah.
I've got you guys. Like, it's a completely different feel. It's one of my favorite shows. It
Sure.
legit is. Everything aside, from the moment that we first went to Modest, actually from the moment that we went to any of the first Drive Cartel shows, before we even knew you guys, that was always been a priority to us, and will always be a priority.
It was legit one of the first shows that we went to that was just like, we saw the quality of the cars, the atmosphere, the vibes and everything, and we were like, damn, we need to do this. Like, we need
Actually,
to...
we were ashamed. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, like that show that was underneath the bridge.
Yeah, that
Like,
one of the
when
first
we-
honest ones.
You guys
That was the
accepted.
first one.
Super hot,
Yes,
wasn't
it was
it?
so
It
hot.
was like 112 degrees.
It
I
was
feel like
ridiculous.
it was.
Dude,
it was hot.
Yeah.
But like we got accepted because you guys screened for
Yeah.
the shows,
Yep.
and like we got accepted, and we're like, what?
It's like, I got a
Like, we
stock
gotta-
S2000 that's wrapped white.
Right.
And
I'm
mine
not
wasn't
getting in.
even wide yet.
But
that
that
was
was the-
before my car was wide.
That was
But that was the build up to like
Yeah.
doing to getting bigger with that stuff
Yep.
because it was humble beginnings and like
Absolutely.
you were there for that. I think that's super awesome. 'Cause
super cool. Yeah.
I brought like a Ram van. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, and it was cool. I mean, like
I had
we.
the Escalade.
did.
I had the Escalade.
Josh brought our Escalade with Rust. But that was a humble beginnings. But the caliber of some of those cars
There was some.
made me get more.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. We pulled around the corner and like we looked because Established was there when they
Yeah.
were together, and like I literally like we got out of our cars and I was like, can
Yeah, we didn't even like. We sat by her car because there was more done to her car at that time than my car. My car just kind of sat out, just baking in the sun. And some of the guys that we were parked next to, we started talking with them and everything, and they ended up becoming really good friends.
one of them's a track buddy.
Yeah,
actually.
like
Nice.
super good friends
Nice.
now,
Yeah.
actually. So, like the relationships that we made at that show, the inspiration that we took from the other vehicles and the
Yeah.
other builds, and just the atmosphere of the show. Like even the awards were cool. We were just like,
Yeah, we
They
didn't.
are
we
pretty
didn't
good
get
on the
it.
awards.
I still have yet to get a Drive Cartel award, and now I'm.
You've never see.
Wait,
I've-
hold on. That's a lie. There's no way.
No, I've never
I
got one either.
Swear,
She's
I
never-
swear
I
to
haven't
God.
either. This is
the
bullshit.
one year when we
Who do we
thought
talk to?
we were
Hold
like,
on.
okay, so at Modest we were like, maybe she might get one, and then didn't happen. So then
All the
we were thinking like
NSXs.
they're
Oh, yeah.
Drive
That's a
Cartel
hard one.
Drive
We'll
Cartel's
talk about
hosting
that
the
later.
show at Proving Grounds. Like this is our chance.
Yeah.
And then we go to that show. We're doing autocross. We're shuffling our cars back and forth
To
from
make
the
sure
show
they're
to
in the
race
show.
to
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to the show, and then
Joey walks
comes
up to
out.
me.
He's like, "So guys, here's the deal.
Ah.
You
We
got
want to introduce you and welcome you to the team, but because of
Yeah.
that, we didn't judge
Yeah,
your
we-
cars.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
That's
you're
the
like,
worst.
You're like,
I would have
Yeah.
at least.
fuck you.
I would have at least given me like, here's your trophy.
get, like-
we won't welcome you to the team.
Well, that's
Come on in.
where I was just like, well, okay, so that's her. What about me? Like, did my car get something?
Right,
And
that's it.
That was
That's-
like, nope, package deal.
That's it. We're making you a trophy. Josh and I personally
Can
are
we-
going to make a trophy.
Yes, we'll get it made.
We're going to make you a trophy. and it's going to be from us. Mind you, we don't make trophies, but we're going to make one for.
We gotta have a funny name for it though.
Oh yes.
We're not going to tell you what it is, but we'll get you one.
You're getting a Drive Cartel Dreamkillers trophy from us.
You like the triangle one, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like,
or the gear one. Which one do you like better?
We like
just
all
surprises.
of them.
Yeah. That was one of the things. Like, they're cool, unique awards.
Right.
You know, which we tell Nuke and everybody. But yeah, that was kind of a. You know, I've definitely.
Damn it,
That's
Joey.
a bummer, Joey.
Joey
Ruined
Lee.
that, Joey Lee. You know what's kind of fun
he
though?
He knows all about it.
Hey, speaking of that, I know where there's a bunch of Savers had a bunch of trophies sitting on a thing. We can just go like get all the parts from it.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. You guys want to hear something kind of funny that he came up with?
What's that?
The ribbons.
Oh, okay. If any of you have ever,
Hold on. We're such assholes for this.
this was so back in the day, like on Wednesday or Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It was
We
on
should know this.
Tuesday. I forgot. We were at a place where the people were the illest, and there was all these cars out, and I was like, and it was right around the time when everybody was talking about participation trophies and stuff like that. And I was like, nah, we gotta go the other direction of that. We have to be like, your car made it here.
Congratulations.
And it's an outstanding achievement. It's an outstanding achievement that your car made it here. So I'm giving out these ribbons, and I bought 1,000 of them.
We would walk around and hand these. Like,
we would
just
be like, dude, outstanding achievement. This Miata, I can't believe it made it here. The thing is on the ground. Congratulations. And we did that for like a year straight. And
people loved it. Like,
people loved it. Like, dude, I got this crazy weird ribbon on my car. And it was like, I didn't know they were giving out trophies. It was like, it's not a trophy. It was dude, you made it. That's an outstanding achievement. It's not a participation either. Just, that's amazing. Your car is not broken and it's here.
And it made it here.
So what you're saying is you put one on Josh's car.
Josh got one.
No, mine doesn't make it there.
I was going to say, he never got a ribbon.
Josh's car used to work. It was back when he had like a WRX, which broke.
Do you want to talk about that? The clutch way they're doing that?
No, I don't want to talk about your car. It's terrible. It
Say
scares
hi to
me.
Brian. Say hi to Brian.
Yeah,
everybody.
look, Brian's on the screen. See, these, just like you were saying, the people that you've met along the way, you know what I mean? Brian's one of those people.
Yeah,
like
he is
one of the coolest people I know. And if you have it, Top Rank, you can Top Rank Brian. What does it go by on?
Top Rank Imports.
You know what?
Imported card. I think it's importedcar.com.
Importedcar.com, or just Brian's on there.
Top Rank. Just
Top Rank.
Brian J.
You can see it. He's got the Pennzoil hat on, working with that stuff. The guy's great. Like, he's just one of those genuinely cool people, and I love hanging out with him. So yeah. Here also, you were at Gatlinburg this year, weren't you?
How was that?
Which brings me back to that's one of my favorite shows.
But look at the quality of this photo. That was
props to Derek, Nightfall
Dang,
Visuals.
really?
And shout out to Trit with Platinum for letting us use that location. That was for my PassMag photo shoot.
That was amazing.
That's
photo.
a great photo.
Yeah, so that was
Tuner Battleground.
Yep, that was Derek's first feature in a magazine. So he went
and we didn't even
above and beyond.
Know him very well at that point. That was another connection.
He's a really good friend now. He's a super good friend.
Nice.
Yep.
And he's one of my favorite photographers.
Derek's great. Shut up,
Derek. It's really good. It's really good.
But yeah, Slammed Enough Gatlinburg. Slammed Enough. I actually like their auras of the show. They have just that traditional, what I think of. My first import show that I ever went to was Tuner Evo in Miami as a spectator.
Right.
I was actually there for a horse show on the beach.
Okay.
That's my other passion is horses.
Okay.
And so I was in Miami for this big, huge Longines global tour, and I found out we follow TJ Hunt, and he was like, "Oh, Tuner Evo's in Miami," and I was like, "No way!" Same exact time I was gonna be there. So I literally ran from the beach, went and got an Ubered to the show, and stood in line for 2 hours for TJ Hunt. But it was a really long line.
Hi,
but
TJ.
Yeah.
We can call him now, actually, if you want to just call him.
We should be FaceTime.
You know what? Yeah, let's FaceTime right now. I'm just kidding.
But the vibes, I actually got to meet the owner of Tuner Evo at SEMA this year, which was really cool. But the vibes that Tuner Evo gave off, like from the moment that I got dropped off at the end of the street, because this was an outdoor show that year.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I walked down the alleyway, and they had out of these world builds. I'm a big RCF fan, and they had this slammed wide body RCF. They had the food truck playing some Tokyo Drift music, like the whole, like I walked in, I literally got goosebumps. It was crazy because I called Tadashi and I was actually on the phone. I was in tears because I was just like, I could do this. Like this is, I want to do this. You know, this is before we ever did anything with our cars. Like we just had an idea, and it was like, I was like, nope, this is it. I want to live this lifestyle.
So the horses that you were focused on here transitioned to other kinds of horses.
Yeah. Yep.
And now you're just like all about just
Horses.
the horses. All the horses.
All the horsepower.
I
Whether
love
it's
all the
one
horses.
horse or
All the
1,000.
horses.
The only horse that she's not really a fan of is she doesn't like the idea of me getting a Mustang.
Why?
Don't do that. No.
Only
No, hold on.
the
Corvette.
only-
We're both-
Okay,
Corvette.
yeah, Corvette all the way.
C7.
C7 Corvette,
That's
ZR1
what I'm
is
saying.
on the dream list.
That's my next thing I want to get is a
Well, that's
Corvette.
we put the Corvette on hold so we could get a couple Toyotas.
That
I'm not.
makes
we
sense.
did.
So
I'm not.
did.
You know what? And I'm not against that. I think you gotta be responsible with your purchases, Josh. So
This joke. I hate you.
But speaking of, you said SEMA, and let me just do a quick little edit here. Get it to send here. And speaking of SEMA,
I love this SEMA build.
this one's good. This is the gold. This is the Gold Frontier.
is that actual photos from SEMA?
Yeah,
pretty
much.
Wait till we get into a couple of these
This was
questions.
actually a SEMA like a project that never got finished that somebody was working on. They didn't finish in time. And look at this.
Didn't Cool build this?
No, and this one was, he might have, but this was on SEMA Fails. This one here, there is no finer body kit on this planet than duct tape and tin foil. And clearly the artist knew what he was doing. But what was your favorite and not so favorite parts of SEMA?
This year was, so this was my second year going.
Yeah.
Obviously it was way different. First year I ran around and had to see everything.
Yeah.
You know, first year there. This year I actually knew people, so it was more, I think, connecting. You know, like I did spend some time in the wrap area and actually talked to some businesses and companies to learn things and expand our business, which I didn't do the first year.
Yeah.
But and I almost beat Brian at some sim racing.
Brian-
Actually, no, I didn't almost beat Brian. I did beat Brian.
Brian, you're slow.
I was second
Slow.
place. Alex was first place. Brian was like fourth.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, fair enough. Better
There
than
was only 3
I'm
drivers.
I'm not good at. I'm not good at sim racing. I just without this disconnect. Even when they're like, "Oh, you got the pedal feel and all that stuff," I just can't. Like, I can't connect to it, and that's why I feel like when I drive a drive-by-wire car too, I feel a lot of disconnect, and it
Yeah.
you know. And then electronic rack steering. Like I have to have some sort of feedback that's organic, but I don't also do sim racing enough. You know?
Right. Well, I don't
Same
either.
thing.
That was my second time.
Oh, okay.
Third time doing it.
Have you done it before?
A couple times.
That's
Actually, I've done
sketchy.
it.
is what it is.
It's
Fourth
weird.
time
It
now
takes a
at
little
his
bit,
house.
yeah.
Sketchy. We got
Like
an
I-
audience today. Give it up for the crowd. How's everybody doing today?
We got
Hold
four.
up the applause sign.
All
We've
right.
got 4,000 people sitting over here behind us. in front of
Above
us.
the garage.
Above the garage.
It's a big garage,
If
apparently.
you guys want to buy tickets, it's $7 a ticket. Just hit us up at drivecartel.com.
Perfect. What was your? So what was your like? What did you not like about SEMA?
I guess there's not really. I don't really look at things that way.
That's
Okay,
cool.
hold on.
You know.
Okay, that's good.
Tell me you did not see a crappy car there, because I've seen so many photos of like
So
horrible welds, see, and you had to have seen one.
I don't nitpick like that. I don't because I mean
You
I
don't have
do
to
like okay,
nitpick,
but
but-
in a way you do like obviously because almost everything for the most part looks good from a distance. Not everything,
Yeah.
but you know at the same time like I also know what it's like to show up to a show and on the way to the show my end plates off my wing flew off
Oh
and there was
man.
nothing I could
I
do.
understand that, but I'm saying like it, like that's understandable. But there's been some we could probably pull these up and try to throw these up here. Just welds that look like a.
Oh man.
and then it's like, how did this get in?
Just
Like,
go on to Facebook
You know-
and go to SEMA fails. They updated
And
it.
I get it. I'm not trying to be mean,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's like SEMA's a different level. It's not.
is.
It's not
And
just
it-
a meet. I mean, this is. supposed to be.
Well, and it is kind of a like when you see things like that, it sucks for people like me because I've been trying for 3 years to get to SEMA with my car, and I can't get to SEMA with my car. And then you got people that are like, well, how'd they get in?
Yeah.
You know, and you're like.
Absolutely.
I'm just really interested. I was looking at all the Bluetooth drive I was looking at all the Bluetooth drive shaft options, and I was really kind of like, oh, this would be really cool technology to incorporate with my stuff because, I said, yeah.
Who needs a drive shaft?
Yeah, who needs a drive shaft? Get a Bluetooth one. That's great. Well, so would you go back? You're obviously going back.
I'll go every year for the opportunities. And it's so much more than just that. Like, we go. I see people that I don't get to see. Because everybody goes there. Yep. So like it's even the after parties, the hanging out. We rented a Jeep this year. We went and
nice.
Went 4x in the Jeep and like things like that. But
they rented the 392 Jeep
Rubicon.
Wrangler.
We rented a Jeep.
Thought it'd be a good idea to go off-roading and.
Yeah.
Did you scratch it, and did you break anything?
We scratched it a little bit.
Oh,
it's a Jeep. It's made to do that.
We almost went into a ravine.
Oh, no problem.
Big deal.
No big deal.
We can swap stories.
But no, like SEMA in full, like I like I said, I don't really look at things in the negative aspect. I feel like we all, there's always going to be something that somebody dislikes or you don't think is adequate to be there. Mm-hmm. But I usually go there for like my certain things. Like I go to the Toyota. I saw 3 GR Corollas, and like I was like, oh, there's GR. Like I love Toyota.
You're focused on you're focused on your interests,
exactly,
not
and
how bad other people's
and,
work was. That's cool though. I think that's awesome.
And I'm not gonna lie, I as much as I am passionate about cars and stuff, I'm a little immune to the scene. So like SEMA isn't anything new to me anymore. Right. Like some of the builds there is some cool cars that come through that like I haven't seen, but because I travel so much, most of those cars I've already seen.
Oh, sure.
Like so like it's
Makes
not
sense.
Other than like the SEMA built cars that don't get showcased until they hit SEMA.
Right.
It's like another car, so it has to take something extremely unique for it to pull me over.
The takeaway from that is what I mean is to look at things and to see the vision, right?
Yep.
Instead of looking at because all these people are rushing to get there, instead of looking at the downfalls. And maybe we should be doing that more on our car shows locally too.
I think so too, and that's the thing. Everybody has to start somewhere, and don't get me wrong. Like I said, we all judge everybody's builds to a certain extent. And I'm guilty for it too. I mean, we do it a lot to wrap cars just because we're not judging the vinyl wrappers. We're just looking and comparing ourselves to it. So like it's like, oh, like wow, that's a really good job, or okay, well that makes us feel a little bit better because we know we put out quality as good as that, if not better.
Yeah,
absolutely. And this is out at SEMA. That's something I pay attention to. I walk around, I see the SEMA cars. And I'm like, oh, let me go check out this wrap. It made it to SEMA. I'm curious to see what, made it to SEMA. And there is some that are not.
I wanted to see the color of Rich Reed Build's V8 Tesla that he did the brown. It was like a brownish wrap. Like I'm really into brown.
Obviously.
I wasn't.
Are you sure?
I saw a video. They know this, but I saw like a drone footage of a car show, and I didn't see a single brown car. And I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to make a brown car. Now I have 3.
Yeah. Oh. I remember when you told me you're going to do that too. You're like, I'm going to wrap it brown. And I was like, brown? What are you doing?
But that's the thing. It was like, being different and original. Josh, speaking of wraps, Josh has a painted blue car, but we were looking at adding a couple accents onto his. And I got a photo of Josh's car right here. So this is the Delta Speed Racing Spec 46. And it's actually a Volkswagen, but it kind of has some mods. Tasteful wing.
Is it comfy?
It's amazingly comfy. My legs do hang out a little bit, but it's okay.
It might as well be your car because we never get to see that thing.
I never get to see the thing unless I'm cutting the grass.
Even when he tries to bring it out, it's broken on the way. But
the one time we saw it, we had to jump start it.
That's every single.
That's every time.
Whatever.
I think Ian's car runs way better.
I know it does.
My car runs.
Yep.
Like it, and always will, because you know why? Because it's Toyota.
Well, you know what? Someone buy this thing off me then.
Hey, you know what? Josh's GTI 20th anniversary is for sale. It is in that beautiful blue color. It is not the one behind me. If you're interested in it, hit him up, because I would like to see him transition into a different type of vehicle. Not that it's a bad.
And it runs all the time. It never has had a problem. It's a great car.
We're talking about a completely different car.
It does not break motor mounts.
We have all the components for it, and it will be prepared for the spring. So if you're interested in buying it, hit up Josh, because it is a beautiful car.
And if you don't want to buy it, I do have some Willwood brakes going to be for sale at JWP coming up here.
Speaking of Willwood brakes.
Oh, God.
No. What's the future of
Willwood brakes?
What do you think?
That's what the future is.
Let's just talk about it. What do you think the future of the automotive industry and like shows and stuff like that, or just in general for you? What do you think the future is in this?
Well, the goal is to be an influencer and inspire people. I mean, that's, we created FRS2K because we want to showcase what we do, and also show people that, like, we did everything in a tiny garage that you could barely move around in.
Absolutely.
And, we did it with not very much money. I mean, we make okay money, but we're not rich. We don't live in a fancy house. We both work 40, 50, 60-hour weeks.
Damn.
That's also why we started vinyl wrapping on the side, to try to bring in some extra income. Eventually, the big dream, the big goal will be to be influencers and own a customization, an automotive shop that doesn't just vinyl wrap. I mean, we do vertical doors, we do wide body installs. We want to be able to offer that and do transformations for people, and drive cars.
Well, you influenced me, because ever since I started seeing the work that you do, I've just been like, man, these are really, really cool cats. And
super cool.
And that's why we just like seeing you at shows. Like the first time I saw you not in your car when Joey Lee drove it up.
Joey drove it up?
Yeah, you didn't know about this?
What?
We were just talking about this and telling them.
It was crazy.
How did Joey get to drive the car before me? I'm very mad about this.
I'm like, Chris is here, cool. He's pulling up. I'm like, I just started pointing, like, go over here. And then all of a sudden, Joey's head pops out the window and goes, hey, guys. And I went, what?
I love Joey.
First of all, I didn't know he could drive anything outside of a Volvo.
Right.
Second of all, no. But it was just like, it was unexpected, because it was like, I see the car, you know who it is behind that wheel, and then when it's not, it's really, because it's attached to us. Like the work that we do and the builds we create and the things that we do, to make ourselves better by making a car better, it's attached to our personalities. So as we go along, it's tough to sell them.
Yep.
It's hard to move on.
No plan. That's why.
There's not tough stuff to sell. Once again, my GTI is for sale.
I mean, we have a blown up S2000 engine for sale.
Oh, nice.
If anybody wants that.
See, now I can see this where, another influencer from Minnesota, he has a tree row in his backyard now, living in Tennessee, Vice Grip Garage. Shout out, Derek.
Yeah, I love that.
And that is all these cars. And he said it was really hard it's hard to sell them, because one, it's part of you. You've made something that was either dying or was boring or, just needed more. And you did that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolutely. So, hats off to the two of you for carrying that dream, because it's a really hard one. Especially to buy brand new stuff and start modifying. That is the next level of greatness. Shout out, please. Everybody, give it up for our guests today, Tadashi and Karisa. Thank you for coming. I mean, swear to God.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
Oh my
having us.
goodness.
Our 9,000 audiences.
And Josh, and where can people go to get that sweet hat you got in that?
Oh, first off, this thing's comfy. So
it is comfy.
You guys haven't checked us out here. So draftcartel.com. We've got some awesome beanies. We've got this one, a gray one. This little other one, if you got like dreadlocks, I guess. A little fatter, if you get a fatter head. But we got a bunch of cool stuff. And then we might be, I didn't talk to you about this, so I'm going to kind of put it on live. Okay. We might be dropping some Dreamkillers merch now.
No.
Yes. Wait. So we have some. I'll try to get a photo of it and try to pop it up right about here. If we can get it going, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That looks great.
Yeah. So we have some that we got last year, and I think we're gonna start releasing them now. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. We'll make sure you guys get hooked up with that.
Yeah.
Because in our eyes, guess what?
Y'all are Dreamkillers.
Dreamkillers. Killing the dream. Killing the dream. Make it into reality. Right here on Dreamkillers Drive Cartel. Gotta go. Just man, I'm just saying. We're trying to kill dream. What else are we doing? We gotta just. I'm done with this microphone. I'm done. We're out of here. Peace.
Catch you next time.